What's up everyone, my name is Jason51 and today we're going to do a review on Takizawa. Takizawa is a pretty PvP orientated Kagune, I would say, in my opinion, because it's quite, I don't know, I think it's actually pretty good for PvP. I think it has good damage, good combo extending and everything. But I might as well go over its moves real quick and actually just go straight into the showcase. So I'm going to do the moves just base, not on anyone, and of course on someone. This will be Form 1 and Form 2, which looks like this. Alright, first we're going to go with the critical. The dash forward followed with a slash and a stab. The stab hits people away. It also has its own jump critical. It jumps up and sends out some slices that explode. Then we have Ravage, which is a dash, which is just 3 simple slices. This is great for combo extending. Next we have Silence, which is a slash like that. Now, if you actually hit this, it is an auto combo. You hit it, you'll go through like a sort of flash step motion, and then you'll slice your opponent again, and during that time, you are completely invincible. Then we have its final move, Vanish. It's a super long dash forward that does damage on when it hits, and then after it hits someone, it'll wipe its arm, and then it'll slice. Now, I'm going to go over the V2 real quick, and then we'll move on to doing it on someone. The V2 looks like this. Very cool, very cool. I like the I like it more than the V1 form. But the critical is a dash forward with a slash, and it's actually really good for combo extending. Actually, it does hit them away, but it does a pretty good amount of damage, and it also sets off 2 little spikes at the end that'll stab your opponent if you land the attack. Then, of course, it also has its own jump dash, or at least it did. At least it did have its own jump dash. What it used to do is that it jump up and send these spikes. You probably have to be beside someone. Then we have Maraud, which is a slice. It's only one slice if you do it on nothing, but if you hit someone, it'll do a bunch of slices around them. And they're it's like a barrage. Then we have, what's that called? Taciturnity, I guess. You perform a horizontal slash. If it hits your opponent, it'll follow up with multiple slashes, bring your opponent forward while like slash stepping around them. Then we have Leviathan Skewer. If you hit someone with this, it follows up with a few flash steps, then an auto combo. Now let me go ahead and do the V1 versus V2 on a person. First we have Ravage. Just like I said, slashes, dash forward and slash. M1s. A critical, a dash and a stab, a jump critical. Seems not to be working. It probably has its own cooldown for each one. Then we have Silence, which is a little flash step, which you can move around, and then he has a slash up, as you saw there. Then we have Vanish, which is a slash, and then another flash following after that. That is all the moves for V1. Now, let's go over V2. First, we have the critical, slash, slash, slash. Alright, then we have Maraud. Just slash away, then a dash towards him to slash again, sort of auto combo. Then we have Taciturnity, which is a slash followed by a bunch of little flash steps, then with a final flash down. Then we have Leviathan Skewer. Just slash up, flash steps once again, and then a little hit at the end there, followed by an auto combo. Very cool little auto combo here. Very long, it does quite a bit of damage. Alright, as for a final review of the Kagune Takizawa, I would say this is a very good Kagune. I want to say it's much more orientated around PvP, as it has a bunch of combo extenders, and it is really easy not to get hit with it, and when you're using it in a PvP sense, you're going to be pretty dominant in the fight. I would say its really only downsides is that its M1s are super duper slow. They do pretty good damage though, so I guess it counts up for it. And that it's legendary, so super hard to get. Besides from that, I would say it's pretty good, and it's very, very cool. The character from the anime is actually really cool, and yeah. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.